Gather around, island lovers. It's Demi and Jasmine with your Fire Pit Chat, your daily dose of all things Love Island. This episode is brought to you by Whitaker and Bull. So, if those of you who don't know, Whitaker and Bull is actually my company. I am a designer. I went to school for fashion design and then I moved into product design. And I just wanted to let you know that we are having a huge sale, our biggest sale yet, 24% off, only up to July 6th. The code is summer. And again, this candle took me 2 years to make because I designed a candle lid that fit into the bottom of the candle so that you can put to use your candle. You can put it on display. So if you're ever wondering what this is in the center of our set, it is our candle. This is our art collab with Hannah Buechler. I collaborated with two artists who I went to SCAD with, and every single sale goes back to the artist. So it's a great way to support art. It's the best gift to give, and they come in these beautiful, beautiful gift boxes that have a match striker on the side, and then it comes with complimentary matches jars. So it really is the perfect gift to give. Again, use code SUMMER for 24% off until July 6th. Back to the episode.
Mercy, guys. Guys, I'm struggling. Okay, episode 29. I'm joined here with Allison. Allison, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We just had literally a 10-minute conversation, but I'm going to highlight the points that we were talking about. I was like, where were you with Catherine and Scott? And you made a good comparison. So go ahead and tell everybody now.
Yeah, so I was just saying that I very much so keep up with pretty much every online conversation that's happening as much as I can. And in season 9, in the winter, everyone became so gung-ho and obsessed with Ron and Lana. And I just didn't see what everyone else was seeing. But because they were so obsessed with the fact that they believed them and Ron wasn't playing a game and he's the best and they're going to last forever, I was like, no, they're not. I'm not going to be on team them. And I felt like history was repeating itself with Catherine and Scott. And as much as I did like them and didn't see, I didn't agree with the Villa when they said that he was playing a game. Or whatever. I didn't necessarily agree because there wasn't much to go off of. Maybe, but maybe not. I didn't want to firmly say that. But because their stands are just so ravenous online, it really makes me want her head to turn. Her head more than his, because why would we want her to be hurt? You know what I mean? Because I think she deserves more than he does. At the end of the day, I'm going to root for the girl. But yeah. I mean, I would like their fans to be humbled a little bit, I guess, because they're really making the online conversation, if you do participate in it, very toxic, I think. And it makes it not fun anymore if you're that obsessed.
Yeah, and honestly, the online conversation is part of Love Island. If you're not on Twitter, you need to be, or just part of these. It's literally the part of the culture. But do you think Catherine will come back with someone and then Scott will be standing there alone?
See, if I am going to go with what the Villa was saying, that he was playing a game, he will be standing alone, because that will prove his point, that he was into her. And if he is really playing a game, the game is to stay with her till the end. That's what you would do. So yeah, I could see that. But when he was having that conversation with, I think it was Gabby tonight, yes. He seemed more mellowed out, and I didn't know if that was because he was bored and wasn't as into her as he is with Catherine, or if it was because he was more naturally himself, if that makes sense. If I am going to say he's playing a game, maybe it came across more natural, but he could have also just been bored and, talking to her because he had nothing else to do. I don't know. I do think Catherine will bring someone back, though, and good for her.
Right. I think we should all just be Team Catherine, no matter who she chooses. I cannot figure Scott out, because then he'll say subtle remarks where I get people joke, but you also are in the hot seat. So why would you joke about that? Because then you just look more guilty. Him and Gabby, I got that same boredness thing from him. Yeah, now we're all just so skeptical of him. We're like, is this now his normal side, or is he normal with Catherine? So I guess we'll just see where that goes. But I am surprised that Catherine is the most changing in Casa, because I figured she wouldn't.
Yeah, I think when she was so excited to get in the car, I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm reading her wrong. Like maybe she is. But, Ty made a comment today too, where he was like, it's just nice to chat to new people. And if you think about it, like being with the same people 24/7 for like 4 weeks, I would also want to meet new people. Even if I didn't want to necessarily start something new, I would also want to see new faces because you probably get sick of it. So
Totally.
yeah, I'm surprised, but not really surprised. I don't know.
Again, I also think Ty is doing kind of what I predicted, where again, of course, he's going for the 19-year-old, so he's having fun. I was like, you can't make this up. Like, honestly. And I don't know. I really don't want Ella to be leading Ouzy on because I really want to see Ouzy in the villa. Like,
Yeah.
I think
he's kind of like the Ovi, I feel like. Like he'll come back and even if he doesn't,
right.
even if Ella doesn't stay with him, like we may love him. I don't know.
You're so right. Because Obi brought that energy, and that is what Uzi's bringing, like the calm, just confident. Oh my god, great comparison.
Cute. Yeah.
So I kind of hope she chooses him because also he did call. Why is Ty like going off about this fucking game thing? Like if it's been like a month, relatively speaking.
Right. No, it has been. 4 weeks, right? That's a month.
Right, exactly. So the fact that you missed the game, it's just like this is not going to work on the outside. Do you think that they would work? I know you were saying before that you were with them, but now you're kind of.
Yeah. Do I think that they would work? I think they would work in the sense that I didn't think Shaq and Tanya would work as long as they have. So it's possible that they would work.
Oh my god. You're killing it with the comparisons.
Oh, well, season 9, like that was my season. Like I was like really into that.
Yeah.
Just because it was in the winter and I was doing nothing else with my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think they would. What's their ages again? Like, what are they like? Relatively the same age? He was supposed to be a little bit older, right? Ty was like one of the older ones. But
he might be. No, I think he's like 23, 25. Okay.
I mean, they're all pretty young.
I know.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, are you really going to go on a reality TV show, find someone, and that'll be the end? Probably not. So, would they have lasted forever? No, but I did think that, and I do think, even if she brings someone back, I think she'll go to the final with him.
Oh, wow.
Maybe get like 3rd or 4th. And then.
You think she's kind of just with Ouzy because he's familiar and he's like a piece of home. So it's like, it's just like a familiar face. So I feel like that might be why she's drawn to him. But I also see them like looking real good together. And they have
look really good.
Oh my God. But also I got Ty and Ella, their compatibility was like insane.
Yeah.
I just worry about Ty, like with the clout and the freaking, his head is going to go through the roof. And I don't know if he will be loyal for someone who already misses the game.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But I was thinking when I was watching it, like, I don't know if we've ever had, I mean, we probably have, and I just don't remember, but I think it's less likely for a girl to bring someone back who was in like a stable, quote unquote, couple and then stick with the person that she brings back. Like it's more likely if a guy switches in Casa, he probably will stay with that girl. You know what I mean? I think it's harder. Maybe I'm just speaking from like a girl's perspective, but like she already has that connection with Ty. Like I really think it's going to be hard, no matter if she tries to bring Ouzy back, to forget about Ty. Like she spent 4 weeks with him. She's not forgetting about him.
Yeah,
unless he recouples and then she has no choice. But
yeah, you're so right. And it's hard to like when you brought Ouzy back and Ty, then to continue business all together. So I wonder what that's going to be like. Mitch is finally finding a lover.
Yes. And I was thinking like, this is why I was kind of going into this week with like, it's so predictable. Like the Molly thing kind of was a flop. And, you know, the people who were switching, about that. Yeah, the people who were switching, like not a huge, shock yet. So with Mitch, like any girl who goes for him, you're just going to be thinking the whole time is because they want to get into the villa, like obviously, and who wouldn't? You know what I mean? He's single. He has literally he's bringing someone back. Like I don't think you're allowed to walk in single if you have no one else.
True.
But I actually kind of believe that Abby is into him. Like they look good together, and I'm like, I don't think you're actually. I mean, no offense to Mitch. Like I'm not saying that no one would like him, but I really thought that the girl would just go for him because it's the easy option. But I'm believing him and Abby, kind of.
100%. When you were saying that she is the he would be the ticket into the main villa.
Yeah.
It didn't even, that concept didn't even register to me when I was watching them too. It just kind of like, I kind of feel like she was genuinely into Mitch and maybe gets his thing. Me, I don't get your thing, but there's a pot for every lid.
Right.
But okay. Did I have any more things to talk about Mitch? No, I don't think so. Molly and Zach.
Yes.
I feel like Casa would have been a little bit more interesting if they didn't bring Molly back and we could see Zach carry on. Because that would have been interesting to me. Interesting where we're at now. You know what I mean? I do think the Molly thing was a bust. I think she should have came in there. It was so anticlimactic. And now I'm like, Zach's not going to get to know anybody. That would have been interesting to me if he would have, because at least it would have been somebody carrying on. And then Katie looks like she has zero options.
Katie's struggling. She's struggling
hard.
I was surprised. So I think the Molly thing was a flop, but I'm happy that they did bring her back, because I think that the payoff of Molly walking in with Zach, because that's going to happen, will make it all worth it. Because I don't care about Zach leaving Katie for another random girl. Like, I don't care about that, because I don't care about Zach. And he never had a connection with Katie. And he went to Casa and never even mentioned Whitney. Like, that was never a thing. So he was really fading into oblivion. Like, no one cared about any of his options. And even if everyone literally hates Molly, like, there is not one person online who wishes she was brought back, except for maybe me, because I was like, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't, there was nothing there without Molly. So I'm fine with it. I think that she wasn't the right person to get the reaction that people probably thought that should have been there. But I'm happy that they're going to walk in together and the girls are going to be surprised.
True. Okay. That moment is something we can look forward to if we have nothing else. Do you think that Zach, it was Molly all along for Zach? I mean, I know that thing with Katie was pushing, but the way that they're now trying to make it like Mitch is like, oh, it was always Molly. It's like, but
no,
no,
it wasn't always Molly. I think Zach is whoever's in front of him.
Right.
So I do believe he genuinely likes Molly, but if Molly never came back, I don't think he would be thinking, oh, Molly. Yeah. I miss her. Like, I wish Molly was here instead of these 6 other girls. No. But I don't know. I can't help. I know they're super boring, but there is something about them that I'm kind of like, I wouldn't hate it if they also went to the end.
I feel you. I actually think if they come back together, they will be strong, because everybody likes that like arc, and we like a comeback story. And even though I don't really like them, if we can see more out of Zach, because it gives nothing and his conversations are actually bizarre, and I couldn't handle him and Katie anymore. So I will take Molly and Zach over Katie and Zach. And I guess to your point, a random, like, we would just see this exact same conversation with Zach with someone new.
Right. And as much as I hate Molly, like, she was the first half of the season in a way. So I'm more invested in her as a person than any of the Casa girls, like you were saying. There was no way that they were going to be able to stand together and like have any pull with the public in voting. Like, they were, if he was with Katie or a random girl, they would have been gone within like the next week or something. So
very true.
Maybe they are producer favorites. Maybe they like Zach as well. But I do believe that they put Katie in there for this reason.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of so embarrassing for Katie though. Like, I'm like, ugh. Like, you did not bring it like Adam brought it.
Yeah, for me, because she was so iconic and on a really iconic season, to like not just let that be your love, like be remembered for that. Because now this is like what you're ending on, technically, unless you come back again, which please God no. Right. But you kind of like tainted your, legacy in a way, because you really are not doing well.
And like, she has to pick somebody, or unless she sticks with Zach, and that would just be so embarrassing because she doesn't even want to stay with Zach. It's like, I don't even know.
I can see her sticking with Zach though.
At this rate, no one else in there is doing it for honestly. And the guy I'm really surprised about is Zach and Jess, which then you have Cody, and I'm like, oh my God, you're 20. Like, get out of my face.
Yeah, he should couple up with a 19-year-old, maybe.
Oh my God, that would be really hot.
That'd be age appropriate and
Exactly. No, I don't think any of them are seeing the main villa after this.
Yeah.
Amber is really cute and really pretty and fun, but the age is throwing me off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she's kind of like Gemma Owens 2.0 because they were both footballers' daughters and 19. But if they wanted that, probably shouldn't send that young of a girl in with guys that have 2 nights to freaking get something together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little desperate, and then it makes it even more awkward because of how young she is. It's kind of like
so true. And Gemma gave like older energy.
Oh, yeah. She was very mature.
She would never be a good Casa girl. Like, she was very reserved.
Oh god, no.
Oh my god, it'd be so boring. But okay, back to Jess. Now let's talk Jess and Sammy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And Zach and whoever Sammy is into right now. I don't know.
Right. So I really hated Sammy for a while. Like, really. Like, anytime he was on my screen, I was like, oh, absolutely not. Didn't believe he liked Jess. And then as the episodes were going into Casa, I was like, does he actually like Jess? Like, he was kind of like getting me on his side. And I think it's just because we're so up and down with couples. There's really no one. I was like, why am I sitting here rooting for Sammy and Jess? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I kind of was like, when they were just like sitting and like cuddling kind of like on the daybeds or whatever, like talking to other people, like they just looked very natural together. And I was like, maybe I do believe them. I don't know. But when he was talking to the one girl today, like on the beanbags, he was back to his old self. And I was like, I can't stand you.
I know, exactly.
Sammy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I'm not buying it. Do I believe they have great friendship compatibility? Yes. Again, he keeps on mentioning, even to the other girl, it's very important to have strong sexual attraction.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are these like low digs that you keep implying that you didn't have that for Jess?
Yeah. Someone online said that, like on Twitter, that they believe he really likes Jess, but he believes that he can do better. So even though he may have feelings for Jess, in the back of his head, he's like, but I could still get better. So he's like out there searching for more. Because I think he believes that he's like one of the best looking guys in there.
Oh my god, I know. And then the girl's like, oh, yeah, I'm surprised you're 22. And he's like, I know, I'm very mature. She's like, no, you're not mature. Like, no one thinks you're mature, dude. Yeah, so I wonder. I hope Jess goes with Zach because it might be more her type. I think he's genuinely interested in her. Mm-hmm. I would like to not be a Callum and Shauna situation. I think that would be it from the start. She would come back and he would be with someone else. Mm-hmm. But at this rate, I don't know who he's into. I thought it was Gabby, but then Gabby started making the moves towards Scott.
Yeah, but isn't he kissing 2 girls in the tomorrow night's preview? Oh. He's kissing at least 1 and potentially 2. I didn't really catch it. But
me neither. I'll have to go back and investigate.
Yeah. But I mean, that could mean absolutely nothing because Will kissed someone last year and Tom kissed someone and then they came back with themselves, you know. So.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I loved the girl that Tom was hooking up with in Casa. Lydia. Oh my god, I think she's like stunning.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad for her. Who else do we have now? Montel and Leah?
Montel and Leah. So I said that I was really shocked that he is going to potentially turn his head because I really thought that he wouldn't. Like even in the game, he was like acting pretty like reserved and whatever. So it didn't seem like he really wanted to participate. I thought Leah might be a little bit more open. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually does turn and she comes back single. But it could be like a Will Jesse situation where he has to then explain to her that he kissed someone else and she forgives him and whatever.
Right.
I think they're very boring, but I really am into Leah. I like her. So
yeah, she's growing on me. Like she was nothing, but she's also so kind and sweet. Like even the way that she like talks to the girls and makes sure they're okay. I just like her vibe. And I feel like she does, like Lokan was saying, is very sweet and kind. I wonder what that guy is going for. Because then I thought Whitney's all over the place. She was cracking me up tonight.
So I'm like kind of worried that I thought she would be like the forefront of of Casa, because I really thought, like, I had this prediction going into it that, like, Jess would be a Casa victim and, like, potentially Ella, but then Whitney would find the guy that she wins with because she's, like, such a fan favorite. But, like, I'm not really, like, I'm seeing it. Like, she's definitely having her fun in there, but, like, I'm worried that she's not actually connecting with someone as fast as she did with many.
Yeah. Did you like her and Mehdi?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, he was horrible.
Oh my God.
Horrible.
There was like a video of her mom and her sister like cheering when he left.
Yeah. Have you seen the TikTok of his like Instagram pictures in comparison to like what he looked like in the villa? And they were like, the 2 + 2 if 2 + 2 = 4, like that sound. I was like, that can't be the same.
No, the people casting, I'm sorry, but even the Casa guys now, these Casa guys should have been the guys to the girls are so disappointing, even in general.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell are we talking about? When I flash back to like season 2 and season 4, the freaking Casa guys were like hot as hell.
Yeah.
I am like not caring about anybody but Ouzy, like at all.
No, and when they first were walking in, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then once like the lights hit and they were like meeting all the girls, I was like, okay, maybe not.
When the lights go on.
Yeah. Then you really see.
No. Honestly, like half of them give me the ick. I can't even like look at them.
I mean, I think people really are convinced that producers know that guys are more likely to switch. So send in hotter girls and send in hotter girls to like the main villa where the main guys are and give girls like nothing. Because they're going to be the payoff, I guess, to them is better. Because all of the iconic Casa moments, the girl is the one who gets heartbroken. Have we ever really seen the guy except for Shaq?
Oh my God.
I can't remember. And Teddy was one as well. But it's
oh my God, those are 2 heartbreaking moments. Yeah. But you're right. When you think back, those are not moments I think about at all. It's like Shauna sitting there.
Right.
Yeah. I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so we don't know what Whitney's gonna do. So I know.
But she has to do something because she's single right now, right? So she has to bring someone back.
Yeah, and who else is single right now on the guy's side? Mitch.
Mitch is single. And I think Sammy is as well because Matt went home.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And Whitney, yeah. So I guess, honestly, what a disappointing Casa episode.
That was one thing. I don't know if you guys had talked about this, but someone pointed out that normally they do a recoupling right before they go to Casa. So everyone can be like, if a couple was split up for whatever reason and they want to get back together, the producers will make it happen that they reunite. So when they go to Casa and they do the final recoupling, it makes sense because you're matching up the people that, actually care about. So like Zach would stand up and Molly would walk in or whatever, for example, but they never did that. So like, even though Sammy and Jess are technically together and that will be like what we're watching for, they're not in a actual couple right now. So I don't know how that's going to work when they're around the fire pit because they're technically not coupled.
Oh my God.
There's so many single people.
You're so right. That's why I thought it was going to get pushed because I was like, there are so many single people here. Are they even able to go to Casa single? I completely forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Right. Because Jess is with Mitch. So what? Oh yeah, Jess. Mitch is going to be like, she's going to make Mitch, do you want to recouple?
Right. So the ordering will have to be really specific. Right. Like they'll have to have Sammy go first because if he is sitting then with a girl, she'll then have to walk in and she'll know Mitch will be with someone, but then she'll see Sammy, I guess, with a girl. So he'll have to do his recoupling first, which is not really recoupling because he's not sticking or twisting because there's no one on the other side.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting because they haven't really done that before.
Yeah, maybe they'll come in with a twist with that. I don't know how that would work, but then Zach, we have to talk about.
Oh yeah,
the fucking kiss. Is he out of his mind?
That was that might have been more awkward than the Katie one because the Katie one, it's like I thought it was going there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she decided to reject it and say she wasn't ready, but like he brought her up to the terrace. I don't know what she thought they were going to be doing after a conversation up there, and they're talking about how they're happy to be together. But the Molly one, like she literally said like I'm going to need some time. Like, I'm going to need you to prove yourself. And he thought that meant like, just come in and like take my face. That I really cringed. Like, I cringed with the Katie, but that one I really cringed. Because he literally was like, come here. And she was like, no.
And I'm glad she did. I can tell, obviously, she had said in the beach hut that she wanted to. And I'm glad she didn't. I don't know. This whole storyline is just, it's so disappointing. Like, I was like, if you listen, like, I was like, Molly is coming back. This is going to be so good. Mm-hmm. And it's just not giving me what I need it to give me. And I just think Zach and someone, I think, who was the guest host that said this, that he just wants like a groupie. And I truly like someone who's just his hype woman there. I feel kind of like all about Zach. That's how I feel Zach is. And I feel Molly is that perfect girl for Zach. Clearly she's very into him more. That conversation where she was like, he gave nothing at the fire pit yesterday.
Mm-hmm. How was sitting there too, for like ever. Like they kept flashing to him and he was just sitting there.
How does he get away with? How is all these girls into him when he gives literally nothing and talks about nothing? When Katie was trying to get something out of him, he's just like,
silence.
Glad we talked. We're like, no, we didn't talk.
Yeah, I feel like he's just. I actually think the opposite. So I think Molly needs like a hype man because Molly's going to come out of this, whether she's a fan favorite or not, with followers and, a potential deal and going to be like one of the most remembered from this season. Because someone said that, they've never done this before where they brought someone back. So she will be the face of that. Like if they continue this on, or they do this in a future season, everyone's going to remember Molly because it happened to her first. So I think she's going to be the one who's going on every podcast and like, commenting, to every press article. And he's just going to be the one who's kind of hanging in the background. Like, I almost think like she's too out there for him. And she's going to need someone to either be okay with being in the background or be someone like Mitch who would have matched her energy and like also loved kind of like all of that attention. You know what I mean? Because I don't see him coming out. Like, I don't think he went on Love Island really knowing what he was doing.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So I don't think he really is like thinking about what's going to happen after. That's why he's just like, okay, you picked me. Okay, I'm with Katie. Oh, Molly's back. Okay, I'm going to go with Molly. Like, I don't think he's not a game player at all because I don't think a lot's going on up there.
I know. And thinking about Scott with the game playing, like, wouldn't you, like, is the game more important to you than like living through this experience? Like, I always commend people more who just are like, it's just fucking messy.
Right.
But they're being like authentic. They are literally living Love Island. To the person who is like a Scott or playing this game, who did they think that was playing the game? Like Luca, kind of?
I guess Luca, but I think you could argue that he was more into Gemma than Gemma.
Oh no, yeah, he was obsessed.
Yeah.
Scary. Obsessed. She was like not into him at all. Oh my god. Yeah. She was like honestly like blink twice if you needed us to save you. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess I can't believe it's Casa, like, and we're just like kind of bored.
Yeah, I guess so. We have tomorrow night, and then usually I think what happens is the recoupling should be Thursday. Because I think they would like end Thursday night's episode with like it starting, and then we would have all of Friday, and then the fallout would be on Sunday night. But I just feel like I barely know their names. Not that I normally remember all of their names, but maybe they'll give them more time this year because it's really hard for people to like actually develop something. And like the boys get even less time. The boys get like 2 nights with the girls. So maybe they'll give them more time.
Why do you think these later seasons, like especially this season, last season, are getting harder to, like, the couples there's like less of them? Like, I feel like in past seasons we were like, there were our couples and we were obsessed with them. And why is it so different now? What do you think?
This is really the only season that it's been different, because last year we had a lot of strong couples, I think, going into Casa. I don't know why this season's been so different.
I feel like I got the same vibe for winter, but I think it's because I hated the couples.
Well, we had like Shaq and Tanya, Will and Jesse.
And then
and Lana. We even had Olivia and Kai.
Oh my God.
Tammy and Ty,
get out of my face with Olivia and Kai. I couldn't stand Olivia. I actually couldn't stand most of the cast. So I feel like that's what.
You're not alone in that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I don't know why. I don't know if it's like editing's different or because people watch the show now. And
I think it's because people watch the show.
That's where it's like, what do they do to like really shake this shit up? Like, is there almost like 2 Casas? Like, is there almost like, well, we did ask for a lot of dumpings. Like, do you think there'll be more bombshells coming in after Casa?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think there'll be probably like at least 4.
Oh.
Yeah. But with this, like, I'm like losing my train of thought, but I don't know if you guys said it. Someone had said it. They wish the twist this year for Casa would have been that like half of the main villa went. So they like mixed genders and they sent like, let's say like Molly was still in there. Like they would have sent Mitch and Molly to Casa and Zach would have stayed in the main villa. Like, and then brought in a couple like new people. So then like you could see kind of like what your friends, like people you already know what they were doing. That was like kind of a rumor, not a rumor, but like someone was like, they should try that. I think what it is mainly for just being a viewer, because I really love the show, but this season has been kind of hard for me just in general to keep up with, even though I think it's good. But we've had 3 seasons in a year. So you have to think about that in terms of like viewers watching it, but also like the people going in. Like they might have just watched Winter and now you're going in and, you know, that was in March.
Yeah.
So you just watched it. So now you have even fresher in your mind, kind of like maybe what you want your experience to be.
You're so right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Oh my God. You were a freaking blast.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
When
the episode was dull.
No, I know. Like when I'm gonna kick out Jasmine and have you come in with me.
I know she's worried about that, but
I know
time off, I guess, for her.
But
she's been keeping up, right? Though.
Yeah, she's been keeping up. Literally, we did it at 2 a.m. last night. She was literally not okay. She literally
dedicated.
She shows up in sunglasses. And I go, dude, you can't wear sunglasses on the pod. And she's like, really? I was like, do you know how many times I wanted to wear sunglasses? But I know I battled through. Go the fuck to the bathroom and fucking take off the sunglasses. Oh my God. Anyway, but thank you guys all for listening to Fire Pit Chat, your daily dose of all things Love Island. I'm your host, Demi, and this is Allison, and we appreciate you listening. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review and share with your fellow island lover. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.